Hi there, welcome back to part 2 of this Mazzaroth message that's dealing with the planetary conjunction in the light of the Mazzaroth, not zodiac, the biblical version of how the sun, moon, and stars prophesy about the Messiah, about Father's heart of love for us, that we could be redeemed and live with him for all eternity. That is what the Mazzaroth messaging is. The glory of God spoken through creation so that we as the created can be in alignment and enjoy the love that restores all things. So in part 1, we ended with the verse in operation, John 3:14-15, which is talking about how Moses lifted up a serpent in the wilderness, and as people gazed on it in faith, they were healed because it prophesied about what Jesus Christ would do. And that is what the moon and Ophiuchus moving into Sagittarius in the time of the planetary conjunction of King Planet Jupiter and Mars is having me reflect about, that healing is available to you, especially now because we're moving into a place where so many of us have been so discouraged, almost destroyed, nearly dying and dead. But God is saying, I'm breathing life into you again. If you would just take a breath with me, rest in intimacy so that you can lean upon the shoulder of the King of Kings, which is what the planetary conjunction in the constellation of Taurus is speaking about. There is a depth of light and a cushioning that comes with a network of his pure light for us. If we will just relent, lay down a little bit longer, and let us be restored, because what's coming next season, we need to be in a place where we are so close to him, we will hear every single micro step we need to take. Okay, so, oh wow. Okay, I think I need to share the prophetic prose that came out about this message, and that was given to me on 8/16. And on 8/17, which is when I'm recording this, I thought this was too late, but it wasn't until today that I got the final button of the message that made me say land ho in part 1, because I'll share what that means in a little bit. But here is the prose on 8/16, releasing on 8/17, prophesying victory for you and me. It's called His Imminence. Inked upon your heart, permanence. Embroidered within the folds of your robes, the names you call me, burning, shining one, leading, guiding my other beloveds home to Father, our great I am, adored, raised upon our breath, Yahweh, the one who loves. Consummation, because no price is too great to extend pierced hands of a willing son. Glorious, glorious, the way, truth, gift of life, King Jesus. You are the sun racing across the expanse upon hooves aflame to meet those tattooed upon your hands. Extended, ever desirous to touch and connect. Should we reach back and receive the destiny engraved within the eternal space? Who has prepared the dreams of ever tomorrows together, the light of fuel that burns the siblinghood bright? Even the lost one comes forth from the hidden shames and lays upon the pauldron of your might. More to Pleiades than a first glance. Surrendering to you in war is the purity of Jehovah Nisi. Preserving me for the depths of calling is not yet, but nearly so. Imminence of emergence. Father knowing waits. The bride perfecting is satisfaction filling his breast. Spirited, Holy Spirit roots deeper yet and quick. Quickening to wit, battlements, make ready, file in, exclusivity, you and me. That is where victory has always been. Bend your knee. I rise over you, crowning rays of Father, his eyes fixed on you, yours on him, his treasure. You are most precious. The one I received today is so intimate. I won't share it here, but it is a call to remain in his intimacy where you will be protected and at rest. I'm at 4 minutes right now, so let me press into this. So I'm going to read a little bit so I cover everything. The supermoon, which is coming on the 19th and 20th, also called the sturgeon, and the blue moon, is to be illuminated between 16 and 30% brighter than the average illumination of the moon. So that is talking about belovedness into palatial positioning, where you are to rest in the bounds of his constructed fatherly presence. So let's do that. Dare to just get a little quiet for a time so we can navigate this last transition portion well, and let us be rebuilt so we can sustain this time of pressing forward and advancement that's going to come swiftly, quickly. Everything's accelerating greatly right now. So we are also called to pay attention to our deeds. What do we do with our hands? Because God knows our hearts, certainly, but the Bible talks about how he remembers the works of our hands, our deeds. And from that is how he determines what he will pour out from his hands to us. His heart is always with us, but what we do determines what he will do in the next move. So, as King Planet Jupiter, as Jesus Christ is overseeing all matters of creation, he's allowing wartime workers to zip about, prepare, and get busy to protect the harvest so that we are ensured its delivery. The righteous one shall have what has been destined for us because we are readied vessels, emptied out to be filled up. That Father will judicially give such abundance to us. The faithful, true, like his Son. He's looking for those he can move about and set his sights on and go, I'm going to be strong and prove myself to this one. Is that you? I hope so. So my question to you is, are you on board? 15 to 16 is the grace that the planetary conjunction was talking about. And if you rest and trust that you are loved, you will find the flow of goodness merge like the conjunction of the planets from our firmament, our point of view. Our heart and mindset will determine our actions and the judgment, order or exile. What will you have? Let's talk about how the creation is speaking, even here on earth. Wow, there's so much. The blue moon or sturgeon moon is also leading us to explore the wider parts of our world, the land and the seas. When there are 4 supermoons in one astronomical season, it is telling, quite telling. And the third one is called the blue moon. And interestingly enough, it's not going to take on the hue of blue, because usually that happens, at least historically, when there is a catastrophic environmental issue that reflects different light and the moon appears blue, but not right now. And I think that is grace that we are seeing, or what we're not seeing that speaks of grace, because what we are to do is actually take notice of what the sturgeon moon is talking about, because it's the third moon in a series of 4. We wonder, what is that open door of 4 going to bring? We are at a point of decision. Will we steward what we have been given? See, the sturgeon moon is interesting because sturgeon is actually a fish. I'm like, the abundance of seas that we're lacking, we're living in a leanness because of our behavior and our actions. The sturgeon, once thought so plentiful, is now hurting. It's lacking. It is so lean because of our human failings. Let me read this to you. It says, all 5 species of U.S. Atlantic sturgeon as of this year, April 2024, are threatened. They are on the endangered species list. Why? Primarily through man-made dangers, fishing gear, habitat degradation, habitat impediments like dams and other barriers, vessel strikes, and climate shifts. That's 424. What doors have we opened that is bringing the judgment of heaven in this way? We are given grace to have a chance to correct so that we can resurrect our destinies and the abundance of the seas that we are to live in, but we are not right now. See, how do I sense this? Because what I saw was 3 seagulls. And when you are in tempest-tossed seas, you want to see land and say, ho, land, ho. Seagulls will prophesy that to those so exhausted sailors looking for that place to rest. Seagulls speak of there's land close. Hang on. Hang on, it's been lean, it's been tough, but there is hope coming, and you're going to land well. How? When we lead our lives by the Holy Spirit that prophesies about King Jesus, who is the Lord of hosts. He knows a strategy to get you to that shore safely and well, so that you can take in the harvest of that land that has been like a garden waiting for your arrival. Are you ready to arrive? Are you listening so closely and intimately that you're not going to miss that little twist that might have you crash upon those craggly, ouchy places before you hit that soft sanded shore? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot happening. Blue heavens, blue in the seas. Holiness and healing is available for your own future and destiny, as well as physically. And as for the earth, that is up to us. And God is saying, I've left it in your hands. What are you going to do? So I'm over time. I'm going to close it here and I'll come back in a little bit. I'm Jane Justice Park. Thank you for watching part 2 of this Mazzaroth message, and I will return for a quick part 3. Thank you.